Ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, Chris, and welcome to sold-out Foxborough Stadium, where tonight Drew Bledsoe and the Patriots host Troy Aikman and the Cowboys in a huge game for both teams.
The heat of December.
This is why you go through all off-season, you go through training camp, the regular season, is to put yourself in this position. I can't imagine anyone not being excited about playing in the month of December. That's really why we play this game. You can talk about the money, you can talk about all that other stuff, but it's really about championships.
3 titles.
Pro football's team of the 90s may be battered and bruised, but they're still game for the hunt. A wide-open NFC is there for the taking, and the Cowboys would love another pelt for their wall. For the second time in as many seasons, the Patriots rolled through September. But once again, they've nearly wasted it all. Having lost 5 of their last 7, New England is reeling. Tonight, they must stop the fall.
6-5, the December drive.
I still feel that this is 2 very desperate football teams that are very much in need of a victory in order to stay alive in the playoff race.
It's the New England Patriots and the Dallas Cowboys on ESPN Sunday Night Football. Boston, Massachusetts on an unseasonably warm night for the first Sunday in December, and 35 miles south of the city, Foxborough Stadium, where a sellout crowd is ready for a battle between their 6-5 Patriots and the 6-5 Dallas Cowboys. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick, along with Joe Theismann and Paul McGuire. It's great to have you with us. You just heard Troy Aikman describe the sense of desperation that surrounds tonight's game for both the Patriots and the Cowboys. Joe, it's a big-time game with big-time quarterbacks and major playoff implications.
And both of them really have different roles, too, Mike, in this football game. For Troy Aikman, his role will be to hand the ball to Emmitt Smith, make sure they can get the running game going, and take shots down the field when he gets the opportunity. But he's going to have to hit them. For Drew Bledsoe, it's going to have to be let it fly and cut it loose. As the New England Patriots will succeed, so will Drew Bledsoe. He's the guy that they count on. Look for the Patriots tonight to open this game out, come out early throwing because they want to get on top of the Cowboys as quick as they can.
Of course, Bledsoe's Patriots have lost 3 games in a row. Dallas coming off a very impressive win over Miami on Thanksgiving Day. Paul, what do you see defensively from both clubs tonight?
Michael, if you don't play defense in December, you won't be playing in the playoffs in January. Now, Dallas is a pretty good defensive football team. They've only given up 2 field goals in the first quarter this year. However, they're 6-5, and all 5 losses have been on the road. For New England on defense, they get a bonus tonight. Their outstanding middle linebacker, Ted Johnson, is back after being out for a year. And they're really going to need Ted Johnson in the middle because of this Dallas running attack.
All right, Paul and Johnson will be eyeing Emmitt Smith, just 22 yards shy of his 9th straight 1,000-yard season. It's all next on ESPN's Sunday Night Football.
Pete, your team's coming off 3 consecutive losses, all in the division. What do you have to do to finally get things turned around?
We have to get this game tonight. We got to get one game at a time. We got to get tonight done.
Now, Ted Johnson started at middle linebacker, his first start in over a year. What kind of impact do you hope he'll have in this game tonight?
Well, he's already had a great impact on our club. Just everybody knowing that he's back. Everybody loves him so much and follows him so much. I hope he can just play a good ball game for us. He's already done his work for us.
All right, Coach, have a good game tonight. Well, the Patriots are healthy, but the same cannot be said for the Dallas Cowboys. They're without 2 of their starting offensive linemen, center Mark Stepnowski and guard Larry Allen. They're also without their starting cornerback, Kevin Smith. Well, we'll be back with the opening kickoff right after this.
6-5, the December drive.
And there is the veteran quarterback, Troy Aikman. And, Joe, you had a chance to pick up some news down on the field.
Yeah, when I went down, wandered around a little bit, Troy's back has stiffened up a little bit before he came out. He didn't finish warm-ups, went back in early to get rubbed around. I got to be honest with you. Standing around on the sidelines and not getting the football first for the Cowboys is going to be a real test to see how well his back can be. Now, another guy who pulled a muscle during warm-ups was Ernie Mills. He pulled a quadricep muscle. probably won't start tonight. McGarity may go in his place, but there's a question of whether or not he'll see any action.
Patriots have won the toss, so Toby Goen will kick it away. Done a very good job on kickoffs this year, as has the Dallas cover team. Kevin Falk averaging 24 yards a return, back with Lamont Warren. And we are underway in New England. Falk from the one. Flag is down. Goen takes him out of bounds.
Holding number 37 of the receiver during the return. 10-yard penalty, first down.
The Patriots offense has Drew Bledsoe at quarterback. His last 3 games have been a nightmare. 9 interceptions after a hot start. Allen and Carter are the backs. Outside, Jefferson and Terry Glenn, 7th in the league in yards, and the tight end Coates. The line has been average, even with 6-time Pro Bowler Bruce Armstrong. He starts with Irwin, Woody, Rucci, and Moss. The penalty backs him up to the 19-yard line, and Bledsoe comes out throwing. Terry Glenn on a little flanker screen. For the Cowboy defense, Pittman, Spellman, Chad Hennings having his best year with 59 tackles and 5 sacks, and Ellis. Great speed at linebacker with Hambrick, Godfrey, and especially Dexter Coakley, the team leader in tackles with 95 stops. The secondary, Williams, Deion Sanders, the brilliant, ultra-confident corner, who is finally healthy. Woodson and Teague are the safeties. Falk is the running back. Bledsoe throws incomplete, intended for Lamont Warren. Bledsoe in his last 3 games, a quarterback rating of 44.7, 9 picks, only 4 touchdowns, and he's completing less than 50% of his throws after a tremendous start to the season.
And there was a case where he had Lamont Warren on a hook pattern about 12 yards down the field, and he was wide open. And this is a new look for the New England Patriots. They're going with 5 wide receivers, spreading the Cowboys out all the way across the field.
And the Cowboys are banged up in the secondary. And this looks like Dallas moved early, shooting across Alonzo Spellman. See if he was drawn.
Unimpeded.
You like that term, don't you? Yeah. Let's see if Bob says it.
What? He said it. I read his lips. Unimpeded to the quarterback.
This could bring up a measurement. It could bring up a first down.
And it is a first down. Chan Gailey, who came over after being the offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers, would like to improve on that road record of 1-5.
Well, the other thing, too, is you got a team like New England that's struggling, and you don't need to give them any breaks.
Speaking of struggling, October, November, and December has not been a lot of fun for Pete Carroll. 1 game under 500. They go to the ground this time with the veteran Terry Allen, and he takes it out just across the 30-yard line.
You know, it's kind of funny talking to Deion Sanders yesterday, and what he said was, he's talking about the passing game and where he's going to be and where he's going to play. But the one thing he said, I said, you don't worry about the running game, do you? He said, we don't even care about the running game. Our 4 guys up front will handle that. We'll take care of everything else.
Well, Deion certainly doesn't care about the running game. Bledsoe on the draw to Allen. Stumbles over a pile for a couple.
I still think if you're New England on offense, you have to try and do this. You have to try and run the football. You can't allow those 4 guys to tee off and put a lot of pressure on Bledsoe. He's going to need time to be able to spread them out and make the throws.
Terry Allen averaging only 3.7 yards a carry. Kevin Falk 3.3. They have really lacked productivity out of the running back spot. And a lot of the pressure goes to the offensive line, which has not played all that well.
Here's their 5 wides again.
Cowboys come with a 4-man rush. Wide open Jefferson into Dallas territory to the 46-yard line, and he's knocked down by George Teague. It's a gain of 23.
That's what happens when you spread them out. If the Cowboys want to come up and press them, all they have to do is make somebody miss.
When you go to the inside receiver, now watch Woodson, number 28, on defense. He's going to fall down. When he falls down, Jefferson is wide open because it's actually man inside.
Patriots of the Dallas.
Jefferson averaging 18.1 yards a catch this year. Bledsoe again with a lot of time. This one is incomplete. Knocked away from Carter by Dexter Copeland.
It's a good look. I think they're better served if they put guys that can catch the football. If you're going to go 5 wides, go with your wide receivers. That time, Tony Carter had a chance to make a play. Would have come up 2nd and 3. Instead, you wind up with an incompletion.
And Ben Coates has not been in the game tonight, Michael. And yesterday, he was limping.
Coach came into the sprained foot. Of course, he's been pretty much a non-factor this year. Allen got outside. Carries Teague for a first down to the 33-yard line.
Bruce Armstrong gets a block on the outside. Now, whether that's holding or not, I'm not sure.
No flag.
It is a first down.
Bruce Armstrong is on the outside on Pittman. Now, watch this. They both have their hands on each other. He's just driving him. That's a good block. That's a clean block.
Line of scrimmage to 33.
Impressive start to this drive by New England. They've reached the Dallas 33. Lamont Warren, who used to be Marshall Faulk's backup in Indianapolis, pounds down to the 26.
When you spread a field like New England is doing, it does a couple things. It forces the defensive linemen to try and cover 2 gaps. The other problem it takes away run support by the safeties.
Look at the center and the right guard, Rucci, and the double team up in the middle. Actually, these guys are single man blocking up front, Joe, and doing a job. This is where Dallas' strength is in their tackles and their defensive ends.
Dallas has given up 6 points all year in the first quarter. Bledsoe floats this one and throws it away. Carter was trying to get down the sidelines, but he was covered well by Hambrick, and Greg Ellis was applying the pressure on Bledsoe.
Dave Campo, the defensive coordinator, had a chance to visit with them a little bit. He said, our first concern is going to be coverage. That's what we're going to look at, which goes back to what you were talking about, what Dion said, Paul. Hey, we're not concerned about their run. And he also said, we want to keep this game low scoring. They don't want to get into a track meet with the New England Patriots.
3rd down. 3.
Leon Lett has checked in on Dallas's defensive line, his 2nd game back after a drug suspension. Bledsoe steps up now, tries to scramble. Looks like he's about a half-yard shy of a first down. Chad Hennings made the stop.
I'll tell you, this was a heads-up play by Bledsoe. He knew that he had no one open downfield, and then time was running out. All he tried to do was pick up the first down. And people are booing, but I'm going to tell you, here's a team that's struggling. They need to get points on the board anyway.
Desperately.
Plus, the other thing what you saw with Drew Bledsoe is he was decisive. He didn't have anybody open. He didn't stay in the pocket too long. He took off and got what he could get.
This will be Adam Vinatieri's longest of the year if he makes it, 42 yards. It's into a stiff wind. Plenty of distance and true. New England takes over inside as 20 drives down the field and scores. 3-0 Patriots. The first points the Cowboys have allowed on an opening drive this season. And just what the doctor ordered for struggling New England.
I think New England needed that just from a confidence standpoint. They wanted to commit to the run, to the pass tonight. Coming out, having Pete Carroll's guys complete some balls and move the ball down. Gets them feeling pretty good about themselves.
Both teams come in 6 and 5. Vinatieri will kick off. Mathis and Ogden wait at their 5-yard line. That's Kevin Mathis out of Texas A&M at Commerce. Into the wind, pretty good kick. Mathis at the 9. Cut down as he crossed the 30. Harold Shaw, backup fullback, makes the tackle on special teams. And when we come back, Troy Aikman will have his first shot on offense. Play action by Aikman. Dumps it over the middle to Emmett, and he'll pick up about 4. The Cowboys offense led by Troy Aikman, completing almost 60% of his passes. No surprise, he's the 3rd most accurate passer of all time. Emmitt Smith on his way to a 9th straight 1,000-yard season. He lines up with Thomas, Ismael, McGarity, and LaFleur. Up front, Adams, Page, Mishlinski, MacGyver, and Eric Williams, a 2-time Pro Bowler, a rare selection for a right tackle. Emmett. Hit initially by Brandon Mitchell, and then he got a lot of help. For the Patriots defense, Mitchell, Eaton, Thomas, and Willie McGinnis, healthy and productive after 2 years of injuries. The linebackers, Slade, Ted Johnson in his first game in a year following 2 arm injuries, and Brewski. In the secondary, Ty Law, an exceptional cover corner, along with Israel, Malloy, and Carter. Willie McGinnis with 7 sacks on the year. This defense faces a 3rd and 3. Blitz coming on Aikman. He throws underneath, and he's got the first down. A strike to the Rocket, Raghib Ismail.
Boy, this was a perfect pass, Joseph.
And I'll tell you something, they need Troy to stay healthy. Aikman still looks awful ginger out there. I mean, he's moving around, trying to keep his back loose. Does a good job of keying the safety, knows now where he wants to go. Looks like he got this one out with a lot of zip. And, of course, what is so key to them is the Rocket. With Michael Irvin now on IR, Rocket Ismail has now become the man that not only has to be their speed receiver, but also their possession receiver.
If Tabucky Jones had one more step on that blitz, Troy might not be healthy right now. Dallas with its own 44, and Aikman has to use a timeout. Didn't have his people lined up where he wanted. So Dallas calls time. New England leads by 3. There is Ted Johnson, who was injured December 6, 1998. His first game back since then, and he has been prowling the sidelines as the rookie Andy Katzenmoyer filled in for him. Movement up front, and it looked like Solomon Page, the rookie, moved early.
Prior to the snap, false start, 79, offense, 5 yards, first down.
It was the veteran Eric Williams. And this team, on a per-game basis, has more penalties and more penalty yards than anyone else in the NFL.
It's surprising. I mean, Chan Gailey is a disciplinarian. It's a veteran football team, really. And yet you look at the numbers that they put up, 8.6 per game.
I think that's because of the injured players and the new players they have in there.
First and 15, Emmett on the toss. Nowhere to go. Chris Slade didn't chase the play, stayed home, and made the tackle on the cutback.
That was a nice play by Chris Slade, just staying at home. But, when we were talking to Ted Johnson yesterday, he was really funny. He said, I hadn't played in a year, and I was out of practice. I'm lining up. I'm standing there. They ran a play, and the tight end went in motion, and he said, man, that's my man. He was gone. He said, I just froze. I didn't know what to do.
Maybe the only time you'll ever see him freeze. The guy is a tremendous middle linebacker. 2nd and 16 for Dallas. 4-man rush. Aikman dumps it off to Smith. Hit by 4 men, got to the 44. The NFL on ESPN continues this Thursday at 7:30 with the NFL Tonight. Join Chris Berman for the latest news around the league. Then at 8:15, Joe Paul and I will be in Nashville as Tim Brown and the Oakland Raiders battle Eddie George and the Tennessee Titans. Raiders with a huge win today. And a lot of the games today had a major impact on these two teams and their fortunes after tonight. Here comes the blitz. Aikman wants to screen. Gets it out to Warren, but there's no screen there. Larry Wiggum, the first man to hit him out of the secondary.
Man, oh man, oh man. You talk about reading. This was a fake screen to the left, and then turn around and watch Aikman. Fakes to his left, turn around, throw it to the outside, and watch Wiggum. Boom! He is there right now.
Wow. Toby Goen is having a fine year, averaging 44 yards a kick. They punt to Troy Brown. He rates it as 15. Kicking with the wind and hangs it very, very high. Brown signals fair catch, makes it at the 14-yard line. 45-yard punt, no return. First quarter, it's 3-0 New England. 5:44 to go, opening quarter. Patriots on their first drive got a field goal to lead 3-0 over the Cowboys. Pete Carroll, in every year as a head coach, has been 6-5. His 1 year with the Jets, he lost his last 5. Then with the Patriots, after a 6-5 start in '97, he won the division, made the playoffs last year, faced with a 6-5 situation this year, and may have to win the rest to make the playoffs this season. Terry Glenn takes the strike from Bledsoe out to the 25-yard line. Pete Carroll taking an awful lot of heat. And how often have you seen it when you replace somebody like Bill Parcells, who has legendary status, who turned this franchise around? You're under a lot of pressure to match his record.
Well, I think you're under a lot of pressure anyway. I think, Pete coming in here is, you look at this football team, it's very talented. You wonder why they haven't been able to put more wins together and why they've struggled.
Terry Allen tries to get to the outside. You can't make a living running laterally against the speed of the Cowboy defense.
Run out of bounds by number 21, Deion Sanders.
Robert Kraft, of course, the man who will have to pull the trigger on any decision regarding Pete Carroll. But you have to feel if the Patriots win down the stretch and make the playoffs again, Pete Carroll would be safe in his job, as most of us think he should be.
And, I don't necessarily think that you pull the trigger if he struggles a little bit towards the end. They've played some tough games. This division is very tough. And you're saying, well, it's win or else we'll replace you. And I don't agree with that.
Bledsoe on the run. Throws behind his man, and Coakley with the interception. Coakley with his 4th pick of the year, and an awful throw by Bledsoe.
Dexter Coakley, I'm going to tell you something. Bledsoe is throwing this ball to Carter, Tony Carter, who doesn't even look around. Now here's Coakley, 52. He sees Carter. Look at this. Carter really isn't even looking for the ball. And first of all, Bledsoe should have never thrown this thing.
Well, you're right. That's just a horrible throw. I mean, he's on the move. It's not Drew Bledsoe's strength anyway. And Dexter Coakley, who continues to make big play after big play. You saw him get 2 on the Thanksgiving Day against Miami. Now he adds another one.
Coakley very dangerous in coverage. Smith stood up and pushed back after he reached the 6. Mitchell and Eaton in on the stop. Drew Bledsoe now with 10 interceptions in his last 4 games.
And at the beginning, he only had 4.
It's amazing turnaround.
That was just a horrible decision. That was a horrible throw and a horrible decision. Those are the kind of things that have haunted him through the last 4 games.
2nd and goal, Dallas. Aikman with a swing to Irvin. Second, Emmitt Smith. And he's back to the line of scrimmage.
Dexter Coakley, Charleston, South Carolina. That's where the Citadel is.
Oh, Citadel.
Yeah, they're playing Notre Dame next year.
I hope not. I don't think we can beat him.
Boy, is he a great linebacker. This guy has got a lot of speed.
Every pass that Troy Aikman has thrown tonight has been a little swing or a screen.
I think you got to try and work to the tight end. To me, I'd try and find LaFleur. He's got 5 touchdowns. He'd be a guy you might look to.
Aikman throws over the middle, cut by the Rocket, but he won't get in. pulled down on a solid tackle by Chris Carter.
That's a good job by New England's defense. Of course, without Michael Irvin down there, Troy really doesn't have the big guy to match up against the corner. You'd like to maybe run the quick post, but the Rocket trying to work him in behind the tight end was their best option.
Richie Cunningham having a miserable year, barely above 50%. This is a chip shot, however, 21 yards to tie it at 3. And this would be a win for the New England defense, just giving up 3. Cunningham knocks it through, so these clubs have exchanged field goals. And it's New England 3 and Dallas 3. 3-3, the Cowboys and the Patriots as we approach Christmas. And neither one of these teams wants to be home for the holidays. And they're both on the verge of it, although the Cowboys, with the weakness in the NFC East, would seem to have their destiny in their own hands.
Redskins not really dealing with prosperity very well as they were in first place.
And the Giants and Arizona both won to go 6-6. Falk at the goal line. Takes it up to the 23, cut down there. Let's check in with Solomon Wilcox.
Guys, according to Drew Bledsoe, his problems began 3 weeks ago when New York Jets defensive coordinator Bill Belichick designed a scheme which has forced him to throw 9 interceptions in his last 3 games. Teams are now allowing they're not allowing him to step up in the pocket, and that's where he's most effective. Defenses are now forcing him to go to his right or to his left. He's less accurate, as we saw in the interception by Dexter Coakley. And, Mike, the numbers don't lie. In his last 3 games, Drew Bledsoe has only completed 22% of his passes on third down.
It's just been a horror show for him, Solly. And he admits if he plays well, they win. If he doesn't, they don't. Almost picked again by Coakley. Intended for the tight end, Rod Rutledge, and Coakley had 6 if he can pick that one.
Well, it's another one where he throws behind the receiver.
His mechanics really, his dropping the ball down, and he's not doing. Watch Dexter Coakley. He's just going to look. Coakley is looking right at Bledsoe. He just sees him. He sees the tight end. Rutledge goes in motion. He just comes out, and then he breaks on it right now. Breaks on the ball. That's an easy one. You know, he's actually catching more balls than the New England Patriots are.
Allen across the 25, just shy of the 27-yard line. Coakley is too good to not be on target if he's the guy he's covering.
And I think if you're the New England Patriots, you like this down and distance. 3rd and 6, it gives you an opportunity to go with your 5-wide package, which will create a lot of one-on-one situations. And you're going to ask me about Dion.
Does it nullify Dion when you go to 4 or 5 wide?
It negates it a little bit because what they want to do is put Dion on their second receiver, double on the first. Now you're forced to go man across the board.
Bledsoe steps up, now tries to run, dunked. As he got to the 26, Greg Ellis, the second-year defensive end from North Carolina, made the stop.
Well, there's a reason for this, for Ellis making the stop. Watch the coverage downfield. Absolutely. Take a look at this. There's nobody's going to be open. There's perfect coverage all the way along the line. They may be man and doubling in the middle, but there's no one to throw the ball to.
The one thing you notice, every one of the defensive backs gets a hand on the wide receivers. And the show is on.
Dion only 3rd in the league this year. Lee Johnson. Poor kick, Dion on the bounce. Breaks one and gets to midfield. Caught from behind and dropped by Tabucky Jones, or he's still running. That ball was loose and covered up by Aikman.
This is what happens when you change centers. Mark Stepnowski comes back. He's the center. He's not available tonight. Michlinski is in there. And it's an uncomfortable, different situation for Troy. As he starts to take the snap, the ball comes up. He isn't quite ready for it. Does the smart thing. Doesn't try and pick it up. Just covers it up.
Quarterback's fault.
Always.
2nd and 12. Ogden, number 85, comes in as the third wide receiver. Aikman under pressure, and down he goes. The sack to Ferret Collins. They welcomed him back with open arms for $400,000. They cut him when they were going to have to pay him $2 million. He went to Oakland, didn't make the team, and came back. And there is Flozell Adams. He is down. The Cowboys already missing 2 starters on that offensive line.
Ferret Collins beats him on the inside. He beats Eric Williams, and I'm going to tell you, Eric Williams is a great tackle. But watch the move he makes to the inside. Out, and then just inside move. I mean, that is outstanding.
And anytime you see Aikman get hit up around the helmet, you get very nervous for him. With that history of concussions.
You know, when we were talking to Aikman about his concussions, he said that the thing that really bothers me the most is that, you know, I feel fine, and then like 2 days later, I got huge headaches, he says, which I never get headaches. And then he went to other doctors.
Flozell Adams is going to be in the middle of your screen as you take a look at him, number 76. He goes down, and it looks like he just gets that knee hit. Ferret Collins just sort of catches him as he puts Aikman on the ground.
Played guard last year. They moved him to tackle, and Larry Allen, who many consider the best offensive lineman in football, back to guard. And he has adapted very well to that tackle spot.
Well, this guy yesterday, when he walked in the meeting, Flozell Adams, he had to duck to get in the door. And then there was no room for anyone else to even come near the door. I mean, this is a big man, and you got to ask him. He's at 340. Joe says, well, how much more weight can you gain?
Well, he doesn't look 340, does he?
Yeah, it does.
He just looks like a building.
But Emmett saying, leave him alone.
And for Chan Gailey, he just can't afford to lose people. He's just starting to get his football team back half healthy. Watch his left leg. As Collins comes in, it just seems to catch the knee ever so slightly. And that's what they're examining as he lays there. Ferret Collins is playing because of the size of that Dallas Cowboy offensive line. He weighs about 300 pounds. And Steve Sidwell was pleased to have him in there, because when you think of Willie McGinnis at 265 and Brandon Mitchell at 290 on the end, you don't have a lot of weight.
Calvin Hill on the sideline with Michael Irvin, who was put on IR. He's done for the year. Alvin Harper out for tonight's game. He's been having a strained quad. And now Ben Fricky, number 69, will check in at left tackle. So you have the entire left side of the line, left tackle, left guard, and center are backups. And Adams very gingerly coming off the field. It will be 3rd and 20 as Chris Warren checks into the backfield for Dallas. Aikman throws too low, intended for Wayne McGarity. The way they've lined up on the offensive line now, Solomon Page, the rookie, has gone to left tackle, and Fricky has gone to right guard, so you have a rookie protecting Aikman's blind side.
Solomon Page has played tackle in college, so it's not that big an adjustment for him. The adjustment was really going inside to play guard.
That's all he played in college was left tackle. Troy Brown will wait back at the 15-yard line for the punt of Toby Goen, and Dallas's offense has been very ineffective. Flag is down. Brown lets it bounce, and it will all the way inside the 10-yard line. This may be holding on Dallas on the punt. The kick is 52 yards. We'll check the marker. And it will come back.
Oh, yes.
Joe Avezzano, the special teams coach, the penalties are mounting in every area.
Holding number 59 of the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 4th down.
Dat Wynn, the linebacker, called for the hold. So a 52-yard kick is wiped out, and they'll have to do it again.
Well, he's in the middle of the field on the punt team, and when a guy comes up the middle and all of a sudden he disappears, it's holding.
I bet you Troy Brown tries to field this one. What do you think, Paul?
I mean, they tell him, the special teams coach tell him, don't let the ball hit the ground. Only bad things happen when the ball hits the ground.
Brown has always been an excellent punt returner. Doesn't break many, but gets good yardage. Good kick by Golan. Brown back to the 21. Has a seam. Now he cuts it back the other way. Brown to the 37-yard line. There's a flag down on this one. Dale Hellestray, the snapper, downfield to get him after a punt of 17. Or a return of 17.
First quarter.
No penalty marker. That's the end of the quarter. It's 3-3, Dallas and New England. Even the casual NFL fan knows it's been a real struggle for Drew Bledsoe the last 3 weeks. 9 interceptions in those 3 games. A 10th tonight. And it's actually had some people calling for him to be benched up here and going with the rookie Michael Bishop. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen. Michael Bishop was great in preseason. Very exciting. Very nice.
Terrific player.
All great preseason players. But you don't play him now.
Michael Bishop is more of a runner. But when you think about the load that Drew Bledsoe has to carry for this football team, he said it in September when we had a chance to visit with him. This football team will go as far as well as I play. The entire load of this offense is on his shoulders, and really the New England Patriots. They invested a lot of money in him. They brought in people around him. The passing game is what this offense is all about. Ernie Zampese, the offensive coordinator, tries to put him in the best possible situation to be able to make plays.
And he's been a stand-up guy about it, too. He says it's been my fault. I haven't played well, and I've got to play better.
He said, I've been going outside of the system. He says, I have to stay within our system.
On the carry. Tripped up by a 97.
If you don't think fans have short memories, Drew Bledsoe and his 100 starts, 56 and 44. They won the division 2 years ago. Previous 100 games with other quarterbacks, you don't want to remember it. It was not a pretty thing. Trying to throw to Falk as he's buried by the Dallas rush. And New England will have to kick it away. Either the offenses are playing lousy or the defenses are brilliant tonight.
I think it's a little bit of both. I really think the defenses have done an excellent job of shutting down what each offense wants to do.
Lee Johnson now with the win, and Dion will drop all the way back to his 11th. Guy has 6 punt return touchdowns in his career. Beautiful punt. Dion will let this one go, and it kicks into the end zone. 56 yards. No return, no chance of a run back by Sanders. We're tied at 3, second quarter in New England. Dallas has a grand total of 10 yards offense, 4 rushing, 6 passing. Emmett. Now they have 8 yards total offense. And he will lose 2 as Henry Thomas used that quickness to get in the backfield.
Well, you know, it goes by Myslinski, the center. Henry Thomas, number 95. Watch the jump he gets. Boom. He goes right by the center. The guard doesn't come down and get him, and Emmett's in the backfield. You know, they're looking for Emmett to carry the ball. So they're all playing run.
That's the way this offense is set up. You establish the run, it opens up the play action, you get a chance at the big play.
Flozell Adams is back at left tackle with a left knee bruise. Emmett, finally a little room to operate and up across the 24-yard line.
There you saw Andy Katzenmoyer on the tackle. Because Ted Johnson hasn't played in a year, and Andy Katzenmoyer really has done a pretty darn good job as a rookie filling in for him, you'll see Ted Johnson and Andy Katzenmoyer split the play in the middle.
3rd and 5. The Cowboys with 14 total yards so far.
And they go with the 5-wide package of their own.
Comes the blitz. Aikman lost the football and has to cover up. I'll tell you who did a great job on that play, even though it won't show. Chris Warren blocked 2 guys. Otherwise, Troy Aikman gets leveled.
Larry Wiggins he comes all the way across the formation. Larry Wiggins winds up making the play, and Tabucky Jones is there. Watch number 42 come across. He sees both of them, lays out, manages to take the inside guy. The ball just comes out of Troy's hand.
The Cowboys doing nothing on offense, and Troy Brown back for another punt return. He's at the 35. Into the wind, not as good a kick. Brown all the way up to the 48. Across midfield. This guy always gives you something, dancing and darting. 8-yard return after a punt of only 33s. An excellent field position for the Pats. First time tonight New England has had good field position. They started at the Dallas 44. Bledsoe with time. Dumps it over the middle, and it's Falk all the way down to the Dallas 26. A gain of 17.
I'll tell you, this is a nice call. It's a short play. You give it to the back, let him pick up yardage. But what happens is the tight end, Rod Rutledge, he clears out in the middle. He's gone. Falk slips out of the backfield. There's really nobody on him. You see 83 Rutledge is downfield. The linebacker is already with him. That opens it up.
Falk again. Straight ahead, picks up 5 to the Dallas 21. Randall Godfrey makes his second tackle in a row.
I think the Patriots really have to, Ernie Zampese, the offensive coordinator, New England Patriots, they've got to try and get Terry Glenn back in this game as well. He's the guy that drives the passing game. Drew Bledsoe has to make the right decisions, but you've got to find a way to get Terry Glenn involved.
Second down.
2nd and 4 for New England. 10:54 and counting. First half. Falk cuts back inside the 20 to perhaps the 18. Kavika Pittman was the first man to hit him.
Tackled by Pittman. And number 54, Darren Hembrook.
You know, with the speed of this Dallas defense, Joe, I mean, you can't run wide. And when you cut back, these guys fill the lanes as well as anybody I've seen.
They are 7th against the run in the NFL and 10th overall on defense. Terry Allen now checks in as the deep man in the eye behind Chris Floyd. 3rd and a yard, and they've got a first down.
Drew Bledsoe now can look to loosen up a little bit. I think that now you've run the ball pretty well. Now's a good time for that play action again. And try and isolate somebody one-on-one.
Bledsoe's hit only 4 out of 10.
Dallas 16.
Running the ball so far tonight, it's been a good night for the Patriots. Averaging 4.2 yards a carry.
There you go, spreading out that Cowboy defense again.
Bledsoe on a little half roll. Stays inbounds and takes the punishment.
No, Drew. No. You don't have to prove anything to anybody.
Not after last year, does he?
No, he really doesn't. I think prior to last year, there was a question about Drew Bledsoe's toughness.
I agree.
Played the latter part of the season with 2 broken fingers, proved he was as tough. Now, use your head, get out of bounds.
Well, what I don't like about this, you're rolling out to the right. Look how far right he is, and it shortens the field. You've got no place to go with the football. The defense is coming that way. You have 2 receivers that are right next to each other.
Yeah, but he's got a place to go, and he didn't get there. That's out of bounds.
To the 6, very close to another first down.
All he had to do was get inside the 6. If he's inside the 6, he's got it, and he's got it.
Falk, the rookie out of LSU, has split time with Terry Allen.
That's a nice move by Kevin Falk. Now, when you watch him here, he comes up, he gets a block, now he cuts right back in, he sees the hole. Look at this. Watch him cut back inside. Carter is blocking for him, number 30. That's just a beautiful move inside.
First and goal, Patriots. Carter, the blocking back, Terry Allen now in at running back. Run blitz coming. And Allen takes a big shot from Jordan Teague. The free safety who came up and drilled him.
Staggered him. Just staggered him. George Teague comes flying up. Watch number 31, right side of your screen. Here's the handoff to Terry. And there's the shot. And really, Terry Allen is just staggered. It's like a right cross, except it was a left shoulder. Whoa!
2nd and goal. Allen on the draw. Absolutely nothing there, and the Cowboys swarmed it.
And I really don't like the play selection down here. I don't believe that the New England Patriot offensive line is built to be able to power run the football. They're a much better passing football team. I think some play action down here on the early downs would have served Pete Carroll's team a lot better than trying to just pound it in against this front.
Bledsoe used to look for Ben Coates all the time. Coates with only 22 catches this year, only 2 touchdowns, really hasn't been involved very much. Bledsoe hit from behind, and nice job to throw it away. Bledsoe almost sacked. Leon Lett had an ankle, and Bledsoe airmailed it.
I tell you that, there are 3 calls that I don't like.
Well, I agree with you, but Leon Lett liked him, gives him an opportunity. Watch number 78 make the play. He goes inside of Irwin, and he's just crawling. And you're going to see him play better and better and better. Dave Campos says they're starting to work him a little bit more. With his 8-week layoff, he hasn't really been in that good a shape, and he's continuing to get more and more playing time.
Vinatieri has already hit one from 42. This is 23. And the Patriots take advantage of excellent field position, not for the touchdown, though. They do get the field goal to go ahead. Vinatieri to kick to Mathis and Ogden. And it will be Mathis from the 7 with a running start. Cracked down as he crossed the 30 by Marty Moore. You get 1 plus.
Don't be looking at other people, Tom.
Emmett. Again, no room to run. All right, Paul, you're first.
Do I get a can I have a lifeline?
Nope.
Nope.
Where are these? Let me see.
A, B, or C? A, B, or C? Just say A, B, or C.
B.
You think it's B? Okay.
No.
We're not going to go now. Wait a second. You got time. Think about it.
C. No. A. No.
Those are the kind of yards that Chan Gailey's going to need on offense if he wants to run his offense.
The numbers for the Cowboys, pathetic so far. 12 yards in total offense. Every pass has been short. Emmett, Ted Johnson, and company are right there. It'll bring up like a 3rd and 4. Blitz coming. They pick it up. Throw underneath. Complete to Jeff Ogden. The 2nd-year receiver out of Eastern Washington. First down, Cowboys.
Boy, is this a nice throw. I mean, Troy Aikman just delivers the ball to Ogden perfectly.
Good job by Jeff Ogden. You got press coverage. You got to beat it at the line of scrimmage. Katosawanga can't get him pushed down. Slides on in, makes the reception. And this is the part of the field where I think Chan Gailey would love to have Michael Irvin. But if you got the rocket and he's moving, you got a chance of putting him down the field.
Ty Law has him. Emmett Smith with the carry. Emmett picks up 9 to the New England 45. Emmett Smith, a couple of years ago, remember, people were writing him off, even though he still got to 1,000 yards that season. Well, he's had 8 in a row and on the verge of his 9th in a row. And the projections are 2 years from now, he will pass Walter Payton, barring injury, as the #1 rushing back of all time.
I like what Chan Gailey said. He said, before I came here, people told me they thought he was done. Done where?
Missed a game and a half with a plate in his hand, but he will play whenever he can, and he's got a first down. And what you really don't realize about Emmitt Smith is his durability and the fact that he is a workhorse. He has carried it more than anybody in NFL history. 21.1 carries a game.
And where he carries the football is between the tackles, so he's always being hit by safeties and by linebackers.
If you would have asked, does Emmitt Smith carry the ball more than Jim Brown did? I don't think many people would get that one right. Aikman to the Rocket. Almost got away. Israel got him up around his shoulder pads and brought him down. Ismail, not a very big guy, only about 170 pounds.
Well, if you wonder why Troy Aikman in the first quarter threw the ball to Emmitt and the Rocket, Ishmael, and here he goes throwing it to him again. We sat in the meeting last night. He says, I don't know where these other guys are going to be.
That's
he said, I don't have my starters in there. Ishmael's the only guy that I know that runs the true routes and knows exactly what this offense is all about.
He's missing Ernie Mills tonight, who has a quad problem. Hurt himself in the warm-up. Emmitt on the little toss. Cuts it back and is down to the 35 inside the 35-yard line.
Michael, you talked about Emmitt's broken right hand. What really played in his favor and why he was able to come back so quickly when he sustained it in the Minnesota game is he's always carried the ball in his left hand. He's never switched it from left to right. So it really helped him out that it was his right hand.
And congratulations to Emmitt Smith. He has just gone over 1,000 for the 9th consecutive season. Only Barry Sanders had more, and he gained 1,000 yards in 10 straight years. We have reached the 2-minute warning in New England. A battle of field goals. The Patriots lead it 6-3. Third and a yard for Dallas. As play action. For the Rocket, and Ty Law right with him, and it looked like the Rocket even got away with a push-off. And Ty Law complaining about it.
And I like the way the officials let these two guys go for the ball. You know, we did the game on just Thursday, and you get this kind of contact. You see each of them fighting for position, both of them looking back. That's just good defense and a great effort by the Rocket trying to make a play on the ball.
They will go for it on 4th and 1. It would be a 53-yard field goal try. Emmitt. Not even close. He was stuffed. Henry Thomas led the defensive charge. That's a big stand by New England. 6-3 Patriots. They'll have the ball when we come back. Patriots take over on downs.
Sometimes you don't have to make a play, Michael. All you have to do is change the penetration and make the back go a different way. Watch what Henry Thomas 95 does. He's double-teamed right there, but when he gets in the backfield, now Emmitt Smith has to make a move to his right. When he does that, Teddy Bruschi's there.
Falk is the running back for New England. The Patriots have all 3 timeouts left. Falk will get 2, perhaps 3.
Well, I just don't like what the New England Patriots are doing offense. I didn't like what they did when they got down around the goal line. I don't think they used their best opportunities to score. And Pete Carroll's 2-minute offense now, you're wasting a lot of time with the running play. That is not what Drew Bledsoe does well. Now you're in a position where Dallas's defense can tee off and come after you.
Lamont Warren on the screen. Got a couple of blocks into Dallas territory at the 49. Now will they use one of their timeouts? And they do with 1:10.
George Teague on the tackle.
ESPN Sunday Night Football continues next week with an interconference matchup. Randy Moss and the Minnesota Vikings battle Derek Thomas and the Kansas City Chiefs. Join Joe, Paul, and me right after prime time at 8:15 Eastern. Big win for Kansas City. The Vikings, of course, play tomorrow night on Monday Night Football. Alan Boomer should see a beautiful game between Tampa Bay and Minnesota.
And a big win for Oakland and big loss for Tennessee we got on Thursday.
Well, it's an easy choice so far as yards. Bledsoe's completed only 5, but has 67 yards. Troy Aikman, 8 out of 10. Accurate as always, but only 26 yards.
And he only gets 2 or 3 shots a game in this Chan Gailey offense, and they took one at the Rocket and didn't get it done.
Bledsoe will go to the shotgun on 1st and 10. Good protection. Dumps it over the middle. Troy Brown. Still on his feet. And gets out of bounds. They will say his momentum stopped inbounds, so the clock runs. A gain of 18.
But what a terrific job by Troy Brown. He catches this ball in the middle of the football field and works to try and get out of bounds to conserve time.
2 timeouts left, clock running.
Here they come.
Sell-out blitz. Bledsoe, Brown at the sideline and dives out of bounds at the 25. Had some effort by Bledsoe to get it off in the face of the rush, and Brown to dive out of bounds.
And the good thing about him getting out of bounds, even if Dallas wanted to blitz now, it gives you a chance to regroup as an offense and take a little more time. This is the play on Troy Brown when he tried to get out of bounds. He's in the middle of the football field. Now look at his effort. He's trying to now he's trying to get to the sideline. Dion manages to hang on to him just long enough.
Bledsoe going for the end zone. Incomplete. Jefferson had half a step but couldn't get there.
Now, there's a play this half that they've called, and it's the only one that I really liked.
I like the shot he took.
I do too.
Dwayne Hawthorne's on him.
Well, look at this. Jefferson, I mean, he's got him beat. If that ball's on target, there's touchdown.
So now we have 33 seconds left, and it's 3rd and 5. Falk will check in as the running back. And gets the toss. Cuts it back. Falk got to the 20-yard line. He's got a first down. Hennings downfield to make a tackle, and another timeout for New England. There was an odd-looking call that worked.
Well, it worked because Falk made it work. I mean, they were trying to get to the outside and couldn't get to the outside, so he cut it back inside. I mean, this is all Falk. Look at this. They're trying to get outside, and they can't.
It's a nice cutback.
He does that on his own.
Falk, who graduated from LSU in 3.5 years. He's a smart, instinctive runner. They can throw to him, too. He catches the ball well.
We got to get Pete Carroll to quit chewing gum. And if he does that, he'll be able to call timeouts 2 seconds quicker.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Why does that happen?
I don't know why they're doing that.
25 seconds to go. 1st and 10. And Pete's working that one over pretty good.
There he is.
Lamont Warren, number 27, checks in. Bledsoe with a lot of time for the end zone, and it's picked off. Overthrown and intercepted. Right into the hands of Darren Woodson. They blow a certain field goal opportunity and turn it over with 19 seconds left in the half. His second pick tonight and his 11th in 4 games.
I'm sorry, but when he was throwing it and you're talking about it, and as soon as he threw it, I just said, no.
No, I agree. I mean, this football team relies on him to make good decisions as well as throw the ball. Rutledge is going to try and go to the corner. All right, now Sean Jefferson tries to go. This ball is right in between everybody. There isn't anybody nearby. Plus, he's got somebody hanging on him. This ball is so badly underthrown, the only person that had plays at it were the Cowboys.
And Hawthorne almost screwed it up and almost knocked it down.
The Cowboys will be content to run out the clock and go into the locker room trailing in a game that has seen only 3 field goals. Bledsoe's 2 interceptions have been way off the mark. That's the end of the first half. Our score, 6-3, New England over Dallas. Now here's Chris Berman with our halftime report.
6 and 5, the December drive.
I still feel that this is 2 very desperate football teams that are very much in need of a victory in order to stay alive in the playoff race.
The desperation for Dallas is eased by the fact that the NFC East is certainly up for grabs after the Redskins lost today. If Dallas wins, they're tied for first place in the NFC East. If they lose, they're tied for second. New England really needs this victory more. They have to win tonight simply to stay alive in the powerful AFC East.
And they've got to score more points when they get opportunities. This game is played right into the Cowboys' hands. Keep it low scoring and wait for one of their guns to make a play.
Mathis on the run at the 10. Crossed the 30, has a seam, and lost his balance as he cut back at the 44.
Kevin Mathis, returning military.
If you're a Cowboy fan, the first half statistics are bleak indeed. 28 yards rushing, 13 passing. Folks, that's 41 yards in a half of football.
Yeah, but it gets negated by that last number above the time under New England. 2 major turnovers by the New England Patriots. One going in and one setting up the opportunity for Dallas to score.
Ismael and McGarity are the wide receivers. Emmett. Nothing. Gang tackled at the line of scrimmage. Brewski is there. Eaton is there. Let's go to Solomon Wilcox. Solly?
Yeah, Mike, I talked to Chan Gailey at halftime, and he says the reason why his offense was so anemic in the first half was that they continue to make mistakes. He says, we know we can run the football on this Patriots defense here in the second half. He said we have to continue to take some shots deep in the passing game so we can loosen up this defense so we can run the football, Mike.
All right, Solomon, they only took one shot in the first half, an incomplete pass to Ismael. And there's movement on the left side of the line. And it's second-year man Flozell Adams, who went out of the game earlier, injured for injury.
76, offense, false starts, 5 yards, second down.
And the most penalized team in football is at it again.
Well, I'll tell you, Flozell, as big as he is, Joe, if he even flinches, there's a whole lot of body movement.
Everybody sees it. And, that's exactly what Chan just told Solomon. We have to be able to run the football, but we continue to shoot ourselves in the foot. Here they are again, 2nd and 15. It makes it hard to find a good run on that sheet of his to get you in a manageable third down.
Aikman. Out in the flat to his tight end LaFleur. He can't go anywhere. Brewski ripped it out of his hands. They're going to say it was down. Teddy Brewski not content to make the stop. He wanted the ball.
That's Teddy Brewski. Let's go to Ted Johnson, the middle linebacker. And the Patriots glad to have this guy back. On the very first play tonight, Ted Johnson makes a play on a short dump pass to Emmitt Smith. Here he is. This is his very first play of the game. Watch him. He lets the tight end go, comes up, and helps out on the tackle. This guy is supposed to take care of the middle. He takes on the block of the guard, makes the tackle. Takes on the block, makes the tackle. This is what he does for the Patriots in the middle of the defensive line.
He's a wonderful player, and they really missed him. Aikman with time, incomplete. Too high, intended for Jason Tucker.
You know, Joe, I've listened to you for years. You say there are no 3rd down and 15 plays.
No, it's very hard. Coaches sometimes will look at you. That's when you get to call your own. Like Troy would look over at Chan, and I've had situations where the longer the yardage, the less selection the coach comes up with, so they let you get creative. But it's the offside that creates the problem.
Brown waits at the 20 for the punt of Toby Goen. It has become a field position contest.
Nice kick.
Brown driven back all the way to his 13. And he gets it all the way back to the 20. A nice 7-yard return after a 47-yard homer. Darren Hambrick, the tackle on special teams. Wilcox, Solly, what do you have?
Yeah, Mike, at halftime, Pete Carroll said he liked his team's intensity, but he was not pleased with his offensive performance in the first half, particularly in the red zone. He said we simply have to stop turning the ball over. Now, I asked him if he'd given any thought to replacing Drew Bledsoe should he continue to struggle here in the second half. Well, he said no, but Mike, you'd have to wonder.
All right, Solomon, and the fans are certainly wondering with 11 picks in 4 games. Terry Allen trying to get to the outside, turns the corner, close to a first down. It's amazing Terry Allen is playing at all. The only guy we know of that has had both knees undergo major reconstructions. One in college, one in the pros. Been hurt the last couple of years, but he's given them a lift here.
And when we had a chance to talk to him earlier this week, too, he really hit the nail on the head for this football team. He said, this team needs an identity. What's happening is defenses are dictating their identity, and they're not allowing them to run the football, and they're not allowing them to be efficient in the passing game.
Third and inches. Bledsoe, quarterback keeper. That'll move the sticks.
You know, when you talk about this team, you say, well, you know, they don't run the ball very well. Terry Allen is averaging 3.7 yards a carry, and that's not bad in the National Football League.
And Hudson Houck on your right and Chan Gelly there on your left were the men trying to figure out how the Cowboys could run the ball better.
Well, the easiest way to run the ball better is to block better. It usually starts there, I think.
Both coaches playing it rather close to the vest as far as play calling. Bledsoe now will go downtown. And it's caught. Somehow the ball got through to Terry Glenn. There is a flag down, however. It looks like a hold against New England. So they take a shot and hit it, and it comes back.
Tripping.
This wipes out a 39-yard gain.
Tripping. 63 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
Thank you, Bob. That's Heath Irwin. Uncle Hale's not very happy about that one. Watch number 63. There he is right there. Against Spellman. Can't get it done, so he sticks his right foot up. Hey, if you get beat off the snap and pushed to the ground, you try and do something. Sometimes you get away with it, sometimes you don't. That cost him a lot.
Cost him 49 yards.
Oh, what a catch.
Screen to Falk, one hands it, gets it out to the 28.
What a catch by Kevin Falk.
How many guys this year have we seen make one-handed catches? These guys are getting better.
He just reaches that up and snatches it right out of the air. Look at this. Ball comes out. Watch this. One hand, lefty, got it. Doesn't even, it's perfectly placed right in the palm. Doesn't even have to do anything except cover up when he gets into traffic.
Well, that's not a bad call either because you just lost 10 yards. You picked up 7 of it. Now it puts you in a good position at 2nd and 13.
Terry Allen checks in for Falk. Bledsoe with a short set. Goes over the middle. He's got Jefferson. Shakes the tackler, midfield and more. Randall Godfrey had to make the tackle, but they hit it for 25 yards to Sean Jefferson.
All right, and really let Bledsoe continue to throw the football because that's what he does very well. Here comes Jefferson. Cuts back inside the linebacker. That's not fair for a linebacker to have to cover. I mean, this is just an outstanding run after the catch.
Those are the kind of matchups you get when you go to zone coverages, and Pete Carroll finally sees some life in his offense.
They'll give this to the fullback, Chris Floyd, only his 5th carry of the year for a couple. Monday Night Countdown tomorrow night at 7. Mike Tirico, Tom Jackson, and Sterling Sharp with all the latest news from around the league. Then at 9, it's ABC's Monday Night Football. Randy Moss and the Vikings battle Warren Sapp and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. ESPN and ABC, your exclusive networks for prime-time NFL football. Can't wait to see that one tomorrow night. Bledsoe, good protection. Out in the flat to Brown. He's dragged out of bounds, but not before he reaches the 41-yard line. Again, Randall Godfrey, the middle linebacker, with the coverage.
Those are the kind of throws that Drew Bledsoe can make when he can step up in the pocket. He has avoided this man. I mean, Deion hasn't been able to field a punt. He hasn't been able to get the ball anywhere near him. Closest he's come to action is towards the end of the half. He threw Troy Brown out of bounds.
Well, he shouldn't even take a paycheck today.
Oh, with the size of that baby, I'm sure he'll be there.
They'll just have to use one truck instead of 2 to pick it up.
3rd and 4. Blitz comes. And Bledsoe throws it away and nearly had it complete. Tony Simmons went right to the top of the grass and nearly made the catch. That's a great effort by Bledsoe just to get rid of it.
And a lousy job by the guys in the middle. They're just not giving him a chance to sit in the pocket. Dallas's defensive 2 tackles continue to push that pocket back in his face. If he doesn't have room to step up, he's not going to be a very accurate passer.
I wish you could find a punter in the National Football League to kick the ball out of bounds instead of kicking it in the end zone.
Dion wishes he could find someone to kick it to him.
I don't ever say kick it to him, but kick it out of bounds.
Johnson hangs it high. Patriots with good coverage downfield, and they're down it inside the 10. Punt of 34, and Paul, the special teams coaches won't do it anymore. They want that ball killed inside the 5. Cowboys trying to get the running game going, and Emmett across the 15 to the 17-yard line. How inept was the Cowboys offense in the first half? With 41 total yards. That is the worst they have done in the last 6 years. 41 yards and a half since they played the Falcons in November of '93 when they racked up a sterling 25 in the first half. That was the longest offensive play that Dallas has had on the ground tonight. 9 yards for Emmitt Smith. Emmett will try to get the first down and does across the 20.
This is particularly important for Chan Gailey's offense because it's not an offense that goes down the field very often, and it doesn't get a lot of yards in its passing game. So they have to be able to pound away to make New England respect the running game enough so that he can run some play action and try and stretch the field a little.
Can you pound away enough without your starting left guard and your starting center?
Yeah, you can. I think, but the important thing is, Mike, is the missing of Stepnowski, the center. Emmett called him just another fullback.
Aikman rifles this one, and Bruschi got a hand out on it. LaFleur couldn't make the catch.
Well, I can't believe Teddy Bruschi didn't pick this ball off. He read that thing absolutely perfectly. The linebackers have been very active. We saw Dallas's linebackers. I watched Bruschi, number 54, watch as he turns back to the inside, and Stonehands just knocks it down.
I think that's a very apt description of him. I don't think if it hits him, he's not going to catch 2 minutes.
Well, he was a defensive end, a rush end in college, a great sack rusher. He had never dropped back in coverage in his life. Smith runs by a tackler, still on his feet. Emmitt Smith fighting for yardage out to the 37.
Chris Carter, number 42, comes flying in on a safety blitz, and Emmett just goes right by him. Number 42 comes in. Watch the right part of your screen. You're going to see a flash of blue. That's number 42. And Emmett just keeps running right by him. There you see him again. Watch, he comes to Phil. You've got to come in under control. You just can't go running in there like a chicken with your head chopped off.
Aikman to the rocket out in the flat, and he'll pick up about 4.
The thing that was so bad about that blitz, just to go back to it for a second with Carter, is that you know that you're playing a team that's going to run the football. Your first concern is Emmett. Now, when you blitz, you come under control, you make sure that he doesn't have the ball, then you go to the quarterback.
And Carter is smarter than that. He was a kinesiology major at Texas and wants to be a cardiologist.
He better be a tackler first.
Emmett. Great cut to the outside. Another cut back inside and to midfield. This guy has the heart of a lion.
I just think his greatness continues to be understated. With all the stars and all the fanfare that the Cowboys have had through the 90s, this guy here has been so consistent. Watch the move. Inside, patience, just leaves him laying on the ground.
Well, first of all, he gets a great block from Eric Williams up inside. But watch 52, Ted Johnson. He comes up inside, and that's that little dip. He went for the feet. The feet were gone. I got nothing.
Now Chris Warren will give Emmett a breather. First down midfield. Play action Aikman. Wide open. Ismail. He shakes a couple of tacklers and is inside the 30. The offense has finally come alive.
And you see what happens when you can get some type of a running game. All of a sudden, New England has to respect it. They run action away. Rocket comes across the formation. Now watch when he gets over. He slows down enough so that he gives Troy a place to go with it. Goes down to get the ball, and then is really tough to bring down.
And how can you have him out there, and the only guy within 5 yards of him was the middle linebacker, Ted Johnson?
And he's the only guy he's throwing the ball to.
Aikman again. Flushed. And throws it away.
Aikman's pass incomplete.
The NFL on ESPN continues this Thursday at 7:30 with the NFL Tonight. Join Chris Berman for the latest news around the league. Then at 8:15, Joe Paul and I will be in Nashville as Tim Brown and the Oakland Raiders battle Eddie George and the Tennessee Titans. And Tennessee made life a little more interesting for itself by losing today.
Jacksonville was very happy.
Yes, they are.
Oakland tightened everything up by beating Seattle.
Emmett. And Aikman fell down trying to make the handoff.
You know, all the years we watched Emmitt Smith, the one thing that's been very consistent about him is if you watch him run, you know, a lot of backs will make a move, will slow down. His feet never really stop. He's always on the move, and he's always ready to make that quick cut. And he's one of these guys, they were talking about, the way the Patriots were talking about him, they said, he's a very patient runner. He will wait on blocks. Well, if you had that offensive line, you'd wait also.
And he's always over 1,000 yards. Tonight, he broke that barrier for the 9th straight season, second only to Barry Sanders. Dallas with a timeout, back in a moment. 3rd and 8. Blitz coming. They pick it up. Now Aikman throws behind Ismail. And it will bring up a long field goal try for the struggling Richie Cunningham.
And Larry Wiggum has a Christmas present come early and land right in his hands, and he doesn't make the play. Number 25 has this ball just drop into his arms and through him.
Cunningham is hit from 21. This will be from 43. Into a slight wind. Pushed it. Here's Cunningham this year is 11 of 20. An opportunity to tie it his first 2 years, nearly automatic. One of the best kickers in the league this year, 52.4%, a woeful struggle for him. Terry Allen fighting for yardage, gets it out to the New England 38.
And what compounds the problem for Chan Gailey is his offense is conservative by nature. They want to run the football, control the game, play great defense. You need a kicker to make points for you. You can't have a kicker be at 50% and especially miss opportunities when you're counting on keeping games close.
Especially as accurate as kickers are these days.
Talk about squandering opportunities. This New England, they have had some great field position, Joe, and they're getting nothing out of it.
There's the toss. Allen. Just shy of a first down across to 42.
Mike, so many of the problems that Drew Bledsoe is having, I personally think, have to do with mechanics. He's getting sloppy. This one here, he scrambles. He doesn't get his hips turned around. He winds up throwing across his body. Now he's got somebody at his feet. He just hangs the ball. I think he has gotten sloppy. Look at the shot on the left. The hips are way out of whack. That was the first interception. And then the shot on the right shows you the second interception. He's trying to throw with somebody in his chest.
3rd and a yard. Allen met in the hole, stood straight up, and he did not get there.
Boy, you know who made it?
Randall Godfrey and George Teague were right there.
Oh, man. I'm going to tell you what was really funny. Watch Allen's feet. when he gets hit. Watch his feet. They're going to be driving. Here comes. Look at his feet. They're driving, and they're going absolutely nowhere. They're just staying right. It's like hitting one of those sleds that's overweight, and you can't move it. That's exactly what he was doing.
I didn't even need to hit one like that and have it be overweight.
He got a good spot on this, and they'll bring the chains into measure.
No, he's short.
How much, Paul?
About a half a ball.
You're getting so good at this.
About a half a ball. No, the whole ball. And some.
And here comes the punt team. No hesitation with 2:03 to go third quarter.
That's the only people that are running on the field are the punting team.
They're the ones who are doing the most work. You play special teams, you earn your check tonight. Johnson to punt to Deion Sanders. And how much does his presence increase as this game wears along at 6-3?
Well, I'll tell you yesterday, though, Joe, we were sitting there talking to me, and Frank Daly, our producer, said to me, Deion, are you going to return punts? He said, Sunday night, national television, ESPN. He said, are you crazy?
And this is one that Johnson's not going to be able to kick into the end zone, so he can't get his hands on it.
Kick it out of bounds at about the 10 or 15-yard line. Just aim it over there.
Bad snap. Great job by Johnson. But then he hits the low line drive, and Deion waited for the bounce and didn't get one he could feel. Marty Moore downfield to cover up, and New England got a break twice on that punt. 6-3 Patriots. With 1:40 to go, third quarter. And the Cowboys take over at their own 23. Their best offensive series was the last one. Hammett on the toss. To the 26.
Well, that's like a 2 or 3 yard gain for Emmett, but, you know, that's where he works up the middle. But when you look at Emmett, watch his feet, folks. We're going to show you. Look at his legs. There's never any kind of like a hesitation where his feet never stop. He just keeps moving and moving. He creates an awful lot of things. Watch this. Ted Johnson misses him. He gets back to the outside. I mean, that's just great running.
Cutbacks, 39 of the 69 yards, and 29 came on the last drive alone. Three-time NFL rushing champion. Aikman to throw. Out in the flat, it's complete. But not for much. Caught by Wayne McGarity, who is back after 6 weeks out with a dislocated shoulder. He's playing with a harness. A little tough for him to get that right arm up.
And Steve Israel is a guy who people are picking on because Ty Law is one of the best corners in football. They stay away from him. Israel's having himself a heck of a year.
He fell down on a play last week that gave him a touchdown. He said, I certainly picked the wrong time to fall down. I don't think there is a good time for a defensive back. Third and a yard. Emmett had enough of a hole to get the first down to the 35.
Chad Eaton in on the tackle.
Pushing and shoving as we are going to get down to the end of the third quarter. This is such a huge game for both these ball clubs who are still alive in the playoff race. Dallas still alive for the NFC East Championship. New England, they rightfully feel, I think, that they have to win the rest of their games and go 11-5 to make the playoffs as tough as the AFC East is. End of the third quarter, 6-3 Patriots. The New England Patriots came into this game with 3 straight losses. Their offense had struggled, and boy, is it struggling tonight.
Well, you know, and the thing that's really sad about this, they told us yesterday they're going to open up this offense. Well, you got 25 runs and 21 passes. That's not opening up anything.
Sounds like the Dallas Cowboys. Really, that would be more like the statistics you hear from the Cowboys. Chan Gailey, this game is going exactly the way the Cowboys wanted to. They're staying close. They don't have to get into a passing mode. They can use Emmett. There's one big shot or maybe 2 left that they're going to try and get the ball to Rocket. And you can't discount the fact that Deion Sanders looms big if New England has to punt the football.
Aikman to throw, LaFleur, the tight end wide open at the New England 38-yard line. He beat Lawyer Malloy.
Malloy on the tackle.
Little bit of play action again by Troy Aikman. Watch the play action. There it is. You see the left side of your screen. Lawyer Malloy takes it inside. LaFleur winds up in the flat, and Lawyer can't get there.
You let Dallas hang around.
Let anybody hang around.
Yeah, that's right.
First and 10 Cowboys. They mark it at the 38. Emmett. Here comes the reverse to the Rocket. They might want to throw that one away. Willie McGinnis was having none of it.
I hate this play. I'm going to tell you what. You got yourself in great field position. You're on a 43-yard line. You got first down. And now you run a reverse. And Willie McGinnis, look at this. He's just looking. He sees Emmett. He knows he's going to hand the ball off. He just comes back to the other side. He forgot all about Emmett. He doesn't even go after him.
You don't like that play? I don't think the Rockets are real fond of it right now.
And Willie said, he talked about the fact that, hey, everybody says we're a very talented team on paper. It's time for the talented guys to step up and make plays. He just did.
Second and long. Aikman, short set, goes to the Rocket. He dives forward to the 45. That'll be third and still 12.
You know what a play like that does on a first down and you end up, Joe, what you're talking about? It takes Emmett out of the game. It takes Emmett out of the game. Emmett is the guy that you really depend on in this offense to run the football. Now he's walking off the field. It's third and long. And second down and long. In 18, you don't use him anyway. I want him on the field.
12 minutes, 59 seconds and counting. Aikman to the shotgun. Four-man rush. Plenty of time. McGarity makes a catch, but he'll be well shy of a first down at the 36. From here, it would be a monster field goal try. You get the feeling they'll probably go for it.
They got the wind at their back.
Well, I think they're going to have to go for it. You punt, although, the way their defense is playing, it's not a bad idea to maybe punt it in. Troy Aikman staying on the field. You've got Emmett back in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if Cam went with a play-action pass, though. Really.
4th and 3. The Patriots scrambling around. Now they're going to have to call a timeout. They were caught off guard and had to burn a timeout to make sure they had the right defense in place. And that's a good use of a timeout there. You don't want to give them a first down. Timeout in the ballgame. 12-10 to go. There are 3 wild card spots available if the playoffs started today. Tennessee, Buffalo, and Miami would have those spots. Kansas City, a game back. New England would be a game back if they can win tonight. But the tiebreakers are hardly in New England's favor. 4th down and 3. Dallas outside the New England 35, down by 3. Aikman under pressure, got away, throws. Is it caught? No, incomplete. LaFleur couldn't come up with it. Aikman avoided the sack but couldn't complete the pass.
Willie McGinnis, he said, I'm silent this year and violent. Well, Willie McGinnis has made 2 plays in this drive. Watch this play. There's LaFleur coming out. That ball is down on the ground. That's an excellent call. He was open, but McGinnis was in Troy Aikman's face. He's the guy that starts this whole thing. He bumps LaFleur on his way, gets up in the air. Now, Troy Aikman couldn't throw it. Now he throws the ball down into the ground.
Michael Irvin really upset. That's a catch LaFleur has to make. Even though it's down on the ground, he's got to catch that ball. Bledsoe goes back to work. Throws over the middle, complete. Terry Glenn dives for a first down at the 46.
And Ben Coates is back on the field for the New England Patriots.
Coates with a sprained foot. Only 22 catches this year. Falk moving the pile to the 49.
The only 2 times I've seen Coates on the field, Joe, are both running plays.
Randall Gottfried made that last stop. He has been in on 14 tackles tonight.
LaFleur doing a lot of listening.
Ordering a new pair of hands.
That's what the players do, is they listen to the coach.
If you catch it, you can talk. Blitz coming. Bledsoe return. Throwing. Great catch. Vincent Brisby. And now they say no. Brisby laid out.
Vincent Brisby manages to get his hands on it. Does a good job at the line. Winds up beating Charlie Williams. He's up top easy. Struggles. He's got it. Puts it away. No, that's a catch.
Oh,
that's a catch.
It sure looked
If
like it.
I was the New England Patriots, I would challenge that right now. That's a catch. He tucks it away, and when he hits the ground, the ball comes out. Watch this. Tucks it, puts it to his chest. The knee hits the ground. The knee equals 2 feet, and the ball comes out.
And his hand is under it.
Well, think about it this is what it really is, too, is it's a fumble. And because the ground can cause a fumble if you're not hit.
That's
but
right.
He gets the ball back.
Exactly,
That's right.
Paul.
This is a catch, a fumble, and Brisby gets the ball back. They're going to overturn this.
Well, they should.
They're going to.
Remember.
New England is challenging the ruling on the field that the pass was ruled incomplete.
Now, if they lose this challenge, that's their second time out of this half. If they win the challenge, they get it back.
If they lose this challenge, I would be very surprised. Watch this now. Keep in mind, he's got to have possession. He has the ball. He's not bobbling it. He tucks it away. Now, watch his left knee. The left knee hits the ground. When he hits the ground, the ball comes out. But then he has enough presence of mind to recover. Watch.
Here it is.
There's the catch.
Right
Watch
here.
this. Left knee, right knee hit the ground. Ball comes out.
This is a catch at best because his knee's down. He has control.
And
the
also,
ground causes the fumble, and he gets the ball back.
And also, his hand is under the ball, and his hand hits the ground when it bounces out.
Brisby used to be known for a lot of spectacular catches. In his first 3 years as a starter, he had 169, but with 5 very good wide receivers on this ball club, he hasn't gotten a lot of action in the last few years.
We've seen a lot of challenges today, particularly I was watching the Detroit-Washington Redskin game. There were a number of challenges in that game.
Most of which were overturned.
Right.
The challenges worked.
And you know, I'm glad. I'm glad the system is there.
Let's go to Solomon Wilcott. Solly?
Yeah, Mike, I was standing right on the sideline on the catch by Vincent Brisby. Now, the field judge called it incomplete. The back judge comes over to him, and he says, "Are you sure?" The field judge says, "Yes, I am," but you could see the uncertainty on the back judge's face as he walked away. I think they're going to rule this a catch.
Well, you had a good look at it, Solly. Did you think it was a catch?
I certainly thought it was a catch. He had his arms underneath the ball as he hit the ground. The ball did come out, but he recovered it. The ball never touched the ground until it actually popped out. I think once he hit the ground, he had possession of the ball and control of it as well.
After reviewing the play, the ball hits the ground. The play stands as ruled on the field. Incomplete. No timeout is charged to New England.
No, sir.
Well, we don't get a vote, but if we did, that's wrong.
Well, I'll tell you where he has control, Joe. He has control in both hands. As soon as the ball comes in, he's got control of the ball.
But you see, the thing that they don't look at is they don't look at the knee hitting the ground. I personally think the officials have made a bad judgment. Watch this.
He's got control right now. He has control of the ball.
And then he tucks away. His left knee hits the ground, which equals possession. I guarantee you, Pete Carroll will get a letter from the league office and say, we blew it.
The only thing they could have ruled is that he never had possession.
They absolutely flat just blew it, Mike.
So it brings up 3rd and 7, and New England has lost a timeout on the challenge. Bledsoe trying to keep it alive. Goes to Falk. Cutting back against the grain with blocking in front. Falk to the 32. Sindor Mobley had to make the tackle. It's a gain of 19.
Boy, I'll tell you, we watched Falk tonight. When he gets the ball, he makes some great decisions. And this is all done after the catch. Watch Bledsoe. It's a little outlet. He sees Falk coming across. But watch the decision he makes here. He sees the first down. I know I have that. Now I'll get back outside and I'll pick up a couple of blockers. Now I'm going to pick up another 10 yards. That is just great execution.
Lowers his head this time and cracks inside the 30. And with points at such a premium in this game, another field goal could be huge. A touchdown would be enormous.
And keep in mind the direction that the New England Patriots are going in. If there is any wind, it is in their face.
But Vinatieri with a very strong leg.
And an accurate one.
Yes, sir. It will be 2nd and 6 for the Patriots. Clock running, 9.5 minutes to go. Bledsoe. Complete down to the 17. That's a first down. The catch by Troy Brown. Drew Bledsoe said Troy Brown is the best offensive player he has ever played with.
Well, it's a lot easier getting the ball to the wide receivers when the offensive line blocks. Look at the protection that Drew Bledsoe has. Now he can step up, throw the ball.
We talked about him having the opportunity. You see the mechanics. That ball actually gets tipped at the line of scrimmage. And a great presence of mind by Troy Brown to stay with it. Great concentration.
Terry Allen fights his way but stops short of the 15-yard line. Darren Hambrick on the tackle.
You're absolutely right. I mean, this team should not even be thinking field goal here. If you put a touchdown up, you win the game.
Well, you got a pretty good chance. You make the Cowboys do something they don't want to do, and that's turn this into a throwing game. I still believe for them to be able to put it in the end zone, New England's going to have to throw the football to get it in. I don't believe they'll be able to run it in.
Allen running back on 2nd and 8. Bledsoe to throw. Over the middle, completes Brisby again. Very close to a first down. Needed to reach just shy of the 7. And they're burning a lot of time off the clock on this drive.
First time tonight he's throwing at Deion Sanders. He said, you don't throw over there a lot, but you can throw short against Deion because he's back in the back. And that time right there, look at Brisby. He goes up, sits down, and this is an excellent throw. Down. The only guy that can catch it is Brisby.
They bring out the chains. And it's going to be just short. The last time they had one this close, they ran a successful quarterback sneak.
And they ran it, and the key is to run it on a quick count. To get up, give Damian Woody, the center, a chance to get the ball to you. Irwin and Rucci, blow him off the line, and all you need to do is pick up the length of the football.
When it's been longer than this, they've given it to the running back, and that hasn't worked.
Well, if you're going to run it to the running back, then don't go outside the guard. Stay inside.
Oh, they're outside. And Dallas jumped.
I think Dallas anticipated what I was talking about. As soon as Drew got up under the center, they thought he was going to try and sneak it.
And what a gift.
Encroachment, defensive nose tackle. Half the distance to the goal line.
They'll mark it inside the 4, 1st and goal. The Cowboys, 5 penalties, 29 yards. Emmett can't do much. Right now, he's got to hope the defense can hold to at least a field goal.
He's got Ben Coates back on the field, and I don't think he's there to block, Paul.
Well, that's the only thing. Well, he was in one pass pattern. They threw it to Brisby. And other than that, all the other plays is in double tight end. He's been blocking.
Terry Allen. Got a good block. Terry Allen is an excellent short yardage runner. In 1996, when he made the Pro Bowl, he led the NFL with 21 touchdowns.
But, Michael, what I was just saying before when on the short yardage.
Number 63 is reporting to an eligible position. 63, man. Got it? 63.
All right, but I'm just saying, if you're going to run the football, run it where your guards and your center are, where your power is, and go right up the middle. Take the straight line. This defense is too fast.
I think they keep going up the middle.
Allen. Touchdown.
Grizzly. As I said, running up the middle.
That's why we're broadcasters and their coaches.
They did run it. What a nice job by the guys in the middle. Good job. We talked about Irwin, Rucci, and Woody. The center and 2 guards. Everybody does a terrific job. And then you get Zephyrus Moss coming down on Alonzo Spellman to create the hole.
Heath Irwin was the guard who came through the hole. He didn't have anybody to hit. The first touchdown allowed by the Dallas defense in over 7.5 quarters. Remember, they shut out Miami on Thanksgiving Day. A huge drive for the New England Patriots, and they take a 13-3 lead. Only 6:39 left. Terry Allen with the big score. Since his last interception, Drew Bledsoe has come alive. He's hit 7 out of the last 9 for 86 yards.
Should have been 8 of his last 9.
That's right. Well, now Dallas is going to have to open up the offense. They need 2 scores and close to 6.5 minutes left in the game. Mathis and Ogden wait at the 10. Mathis all the way up to the 17. And cut down at the 35.
Kevin Mathis returning one of the series football.
Troy Aikman, 6.5 minutes. He needs 10 points to tie. 13-3 Pats, 6.5 minutes to go. Dallas needs 2 scores in a hurry. Aikman throws incomplete, intended for the Rocket at the Patriot 49.
The Rocket is a guy they have to try and get the ball to. I really think you have to get Ogden and Tucker involved. I mean, you take a look. He's the first player in team history to catch 3 passes for touchdowns over 60 yards. But tonight, the Cowboys have only hit 2 passes more than 10 yards in the entire game.
And you think of the receivers Dallas has had. Bob Hayes, Michael Irvin.
And the quarterback, Roger Staubach.
Pressure up the middle. Aikman steps away and throws. McGarity makes the catch. He gets out of bounds at midfield.
Aikman's pass
gain of 15. Michael put on injured reserve this week after that neck injury in Philadelphia. And certainly the extension of his career in jeopardy right now.
I hope he gets a chance to come back.
I do
really
too.
do.
What's coming? Aikman unloads, and speaking of unloading, Ty Law just crushed Ismail.
Well, Ty Law just waited on this play.
I'll tell you
what, on perfect timing.
And Ty Law better get himself back in the defensive secondary and stop strutting around.
Here comes Ty Law. Ismail gets his ball. Ty Law gets his move.
Oh. Aikman under pressure. Brewski missed him, but Aikman goes down.
Willie McGinnis. A little help from your friend.
Well, Willie McGinnis just snatches him out of the air. With one hand, Willie McGinnis grabs Troy Aikman and just... Troy thought he was going to run up the middle with the ball, and Willie McGinnis just snatches him. The rush is on. Watch Willie McGinnis. Here's number 55. Now watch what happens. Right here. He reaches around, one hand. There you are.
And the reason why he's able to do that, there's nowhere to go with the football. There's the Rocket being covered by Whitten. Outside to Bucky Jones, and Ty Law have the outside covered.
3rd and 13. Aikman dumps it underneath. Diving for a first down, and it looks like they have it. Jeff Ogden with a nice piece of running after the catch.
Boy, was that a great heads-up play by Ogden.
I think Troy's got to try and get the ball to some of the other guys. I don't think he can just focus on the Rocket.
They'll stop the clock to measure.
Now, Dallas catches a break here because they do stop the clock. They've got to get themselves on the line of scrimmage.
That's first down. That's first down by the nose of the ball.
Troy does a nice job of stepping up. Now watch Ogden. He knows where the first down is. He dives forward to try and pick it up.
You know, Troy Aikman, and it is a first down, Troy Aikman has not been able to use all of his skills this year. With Irvin being out, Ismael in the first year in the system, and so many other young receivers, he's really been limited.
Well, you know, for so many years they tried to find the complement to Michael. All of a sudden Michael's gone. Rocket comes on. Now they're trying to find the complement to Rocket. It's always been a work in progress.
Aikman with a lot of time. That one's tipped. Brewski with pressure from the outside.
With that ball being tipped, Wiggum grabs Chris Warren. Doesn't make any difference because the ball's tipped. There's no pass interference.
With all a smart play.
Well, with all these crossing routes, New England has done an excellent job staying in their zones. It was interesting talking to Steve Sidwell, their defensive coordinator in New England. He says Teddy Bruschi and Lawyer Malloy really have to have big nights. But Bruschi is having himself a great one.
Movement up front, they'll whistle a play dead.
Prior to the snap, ball start, 77, offense, 5 yards, second down.
That's the rookie Solomon Page. That'll cost him 5.
But at this point of the game, it's not a bad penalty for Chan Gailey's offense. They're going to throw anyway. So just 5 more yards really isn't going to make a difference. They're in 4-down territory, and they're going to have to go for it if they wind up with 4th down.
Dallas needs at least a field goal out of this drive. They need 2 scores overall. Aikman with the slam and getting away is Tucker. Nice move by Jason Tucker, the first-year man out of TCU. It's a gain of 22 yards.
Exactly what you're talking about, Joe. Go someplace else. And what he did that time, Tucker, as soon as Tucker got the ball, he made a quick move back to the outside, and he was gone. Here's Aikman, and not looking at Ismael. He's looking back on this side of Tucker. Look at Tucker's open. He makes a great move on Ty Law. Downfield, out of bounds.
Tucker played this summer for the Rhine Fire in the World League. Another blitz coming. Aikman hit as he throws. This ball's torn loose, but the Cowboys recover. Lawyer Malloy took it away from the Rocket, and now they're going to say incomplete.
Now, Chan Gailey has 2 timeouts left. The question is, does he want to take the time to have it looked at, or is he just going to ignore it? Watch it. The Rocket inside receiver starts across, goes up. Does he have possession?
No.
Nope. Good play by Lawyer Malloy. I'm not quite certain he doesn't.
I'm not either.
He might.
But it's a heck of a play by Malloy. And once the ball is snapped, it won't be reviewed. Blitz coming. Draw play. Warren.
Teddy Bruschi got an ankle. Wasted play. It's a wasted play, really. They're bringing pressure. By bringing the pressure, you wind up with somebody being responsible for the running back. He's the guy that's going to wind up making the play. The Cowboys go into a huddle. They've got to run. They're running out of time.
Yeah, you run a running play, and the clock doesn't stop, and then you go into a huddle.
Aikman throws to the sideline, and it's complete to the Rocket. The clock continues to wind, even though Ismael got out of bounds and wasn't touched.
I don't quite understand that one. I mean, he wasn't touched. He was going sideways, not backwards, and they still continue to let the clock run.
Now Cunningham will come on to try the field goal, and if they ever needed Richie Cunningham to break out of the slump, this is it. And Cunningham knocks it through to cut it to a touchdown. 13-6 New England. Patriots on top 13-6, 2:50 left in the ball game. They have cut the lead down to 7 points. You try an onside kick here, or do you kick it away? They have 2 timeouts left.
Well, you have the wind at your back so you can put him down and all the blockers are up front. I'd kick this thing away. He's not going to bring it out.
Falk will keep it in the end zone. They'll start from the 20. Coming up next, Sports Center with Dan Patrick and Rich Eisen. Our Sunday conversation, Troy Aikman. Our NFL Blitz, the Week 13 breakdown. And NBA update, Shaq against the Magic.
On that last drive by the Cowboys, watch this. The Rocket catches the ball. He's not going backwards. He hasn't been touched, and the official just flat blows the call. The clock should have been stopped there and really would have saved the Cowboys another 40 seconds, roughly. Now, the Rocket did a smart thing. The official made a bad call.
New England would love to grind out a couple of first downs. Dallas will use the timeout to stop the clock as Terry Allen carries for 3.
That is their second.
You know what this is doing? This is setting up. Here, they could take one more timeout and then the 2 minutes. And then they're going to get the ball back with about 1:50. But the most important thing that's going to happen, first of all, they have to stop them.
Well, there you go.
They have to stop them.
You got this whole thing first.
But I just want, then you got Dion. I mean, everybody, you wait for Dion. Just hold him so they can kick to me.
Second and 6. Terry Allen. Hit in the hole, just ripped by Randall Godfrey, the middle linebacker. And Dallas will use its last timeout.
From a New England standpoint, I think you try and call a play to get the first down. You call it in the passing game. The clock is going to be stopped at the 2-minute warning anyway. But you still have to try and maintain possession. I don't think you run it again and give up the opportunity and stick your defense back on the field.
If you do get a first down, run or pass, you pretty much decided this ball game.
Exactly. You get a first down, this game's over. And I think that, to me, the conservative way would be to run it, punt it, and let your defense go out there.
The numbers on the quarterbacks, the yardage has evened up, and Bledsoe still has those 2 ugly interceptions on his record, but he's played very well since the second interception.
You couldn't have described them any better. They were ugly.
And Troy Aikman really has never taken a shot down the field.
Well, he tried to not really. The one to Rocket, and that was it.
Huge play here. 3rd and 6. Bledsoe in the shotgun. Steps up, he's in trouble, got away. Bledsoe dives for the first down. He's right at the 30. What an effort by Drew Bledsoe.
All he had to do was hit the line. If that ball is on the line, it's first down, and it's over.
Holy cow, what a play by the quarterback.
What a quarterback draw? I don't think so. No. Just kidding. Don't look at me that way.
Look at Bledsoe.
Here comes the press, but he makes his mind up. Can't hold on to him. Again, he dives. Greg Ellis couldn't quite get him down. There you go.
Dave Campo can't believe it. Bledsoe beats them with his feet.
Well, let me just say this. If this game finishes up with this score, the Cowboys are still in pretty good shape as an opportunity to make the playoffs in the division. If New England was to lose, it was all over.
We said at the beginning of the telecast, it seemed like a much more critical game for the Patriots, especially coming off that 3-game losing streak. And they have stood tall in the second half. It's going to be a challenge. We got some games to go. Here's our situation with 2 minutes to go. The Cowboys do not have any more timeouts. The Patriots need to take a knee 3 times, and it's over. Bledsoe a little dangerous there. He did not want to go to a knee until he had to. Let's check in with Solomon Wilcox.
Well, guys, it looked like a win tonight for the Patriots, but owner Robert Kraft will need one tomorrow night. The Patriots, they're already in the midst of putting the final touches on an agreement to privately build their own $300 million stadium. But there is one major sticking point. Before the deal can be finalized, 2/3 of the citizens here in Foxborough must first vote for the construction of an access road that will be used to alleviate the tremendous traffic problems which currently exist. Now, the vote will be taken tomorrow at a very important town meeting. And, Mike, if the measure fails to receive 2/3 of the vote. Then the proposal goes back on the table for 2 years. It's then no new stadium, and it goes back to square one for Bob Kraft and the New England Patriots.
Solomon, they have lobbied very hard for this over the last few months. There are 10,000 voters in Foxborough. They expect 3,000 at that town meeting tomorrow night, and they are very hopeful that that is going to pass. New England, what a huge night for them. So much criticism of this ball club. They break out of this 3-game skid. They will go to 7-5. Dallas drops to 6-6.
But they're going to have to play better football if they want to win the remaining football games. They've got Indianapolis next week. They are not going to go out and be able to run the ball 36 times and just throw 26 passes and try and beat that Indianapolis Colts football team.
Yeah, but the one thing tonight did is they got them over that hurdle. They 3 losses in a row, you know, and you come in and you win. It's huge. I don't care how much you win by. It is huge.
And Darren Woodson in the backfield pushing and shoving. New England does not have to snap the ball again. And Pete Carroll finally with a chance to smile. Chan Gailey will have to go back to Texas to right the ship as he falls into a second-place tie in the NFC East. Arizona and the Giants also at 6-6. Our final score, the Patriots 13, the Cowboys 6. Coming up next, Sports Center, Dan Patrick and Rich Eisen. All the latest news, scores, and highlights. For Joe Theismann, Paul McGuire, Solomon Wilcox, and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good night from Foxborough.